Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Tim Kelly. This is the Real Sports Talk. Thank you guys for tuning in. And obviously, this is a story that goes well beyond sports and it really goes into real life, especially. Let me start with this morning. This morning, after pretty much a week of Aaron Hernandez, original reports were just that he was being investigated. It didn't appear like he at least was the suspect of the murder. And then as time went on, we saw police continue to search his house. We saw Aaron Hernandez driving for 2 hours straight last week. And I don't know why people thought that he was going to be arrested. He never was that day. But it became more clear that at the very least Aaron Hernandez was somehow involved in this murder, the murder of Odin Lloyd that took place 9 days ago. And I think as we saw Aaron Hernandez arrested this morning, it was announced on the Patriots Twitter account that he was released at, I believe, 10:30 a.m. this morning. They said that pretty much it was the best way for them to proceed at this point. And originally I think I found that kind of puzzling that they would do this before Aaron Hernandez had his day in court. Obviously, it doesn't look good regardless that Aaron Hernandez is involved in this. Even if it ends up that he's found innocent, this is kind of always going to be connected to Aaron Hernandez. But I think as I tweeted about that this morning, a lot of people reminded me that the New England Patriots probably had a little bit more inside knowledge than we did and knew that these charges were coming. And it took a while. It took till about 2:45 p.m. on the East. But Aaron Hernandez has been charged with first-degree murder. I believe it's first degree. It's either first or second-degree murder. It was murder. And then five other gun-related charges. Most of them have to do with carrying a firearm, which from the sounds of it was a semi-automatic firearm without a license. And the first thing I want to say is I am so sick of hearing conservative people, and I'm 17 years old, I don't care about politics, but I'm so sick of hearing about, oh, we need our semi-automatic guns. And I know that's not all people talking like that, but I am so tired of people complaining about gun rights when we continue to see murders, we continue to see mass shootings. Semi-automatic weapons should be allowed in the military and nowhere else. I don't know exactly what the stipulations are. I don't own any guns. My family doesn't own any guns. And we've been living a pretty decent life without guns for a long time. So I just do not understand. Personally, if I had my way, I'd rather see the world without any guns at all. I know that is not realistic. But I think if there weren't guns available to people, and I know that he did not have a license and he had this illegally, but someone got it to him, so obviously there is going to be someone charged with manslaughter or some side charge because someone got Aaron Hernandez this gun. And I just think the world without guns would be a lot easier. Now, Aaron Hernandez, in the courtroom was the most interesting part, I think, because Aaron Hernandez came in there and his expression did not change once as all the charges were read. And I think that to a lot of people that came off as, wow, this guy's being charged with murder and he doesn't even care. And honestly, I think if I'm in Aaron Hernandez's situation, even if I know I'm innocent, I don't know how you keep your composure in that situation, knowing that you potentially could be going to jail for life, that your name is being connected with the murder, even if you're innocent, let alone if he's guilty. But I think that if he breaks down in the courtroom or loses his composure, it makes it look like, even if he is innocent, which is still a possibility, as much as it seems extremely unlikely at this point, it makes it seem like you are pretty much admitting to the murder, or that at least will become the public perception, and a jury will be involved with this case at some point. And regardless of the fact that they're told not to take certain things into account, the human mind is going to take certain things into account, and if they see that, they will assume you're guilty. At least some of them will. Now, this is coming from Michael McCann, who is Sports Illustrated and SI.com legal analyst. He says, if convicted, first-degree murder in Massachusetts, life in prison. So we don't know exactly the degree of the murder yet. In second-degree murder, life with chance. He gets life in prison, and then he gets a chance of parole after 15 years, which I think if he behaves well, he'd probably have a pretty good chance of getting. I'm not a legal expert by any means, but that's what I would assume. It's interesting. I'm not going to say it's not an interesting trial, but it's sick because Aaron Hernandez is sitting there stone-faced, and then I think as ESPN was cutting away from the trial, you saw Odin Lloyd's either mother or grandmother, I'm not sure exactly who that was. You saw her walking out of the courtroom. It appeared she was crying. You see Odin Lloyd, other younger family members who were able to at least handle it to the point that they can stay in the courtroom. You see them shaking their heads with anger, disgust. Honestly, I don't know why they're there. I don't know how you could sit in the courtroom and look at someone who's accused of murdering your son or brother, cousin, whatever the case is. I don't know how you could sit in the courtroom and be in that room and not just have the urge to walk up and say something, do something. I don't know how you can do that. They did that, and I guess they're strong for doing that. I don't understand why they would even do that. And this is a case that obviously the Patriots released him, but I think everyone is more interested in the legal case because at this point, if Aaron Hernandez is found guilty of these charges, it doesn't matter if the Patriots release him or not. Aaron Hernandez will never play in the NFL again, regardless of whether it's first or second degree murder, because if it's first degree murder, he's in prison for life. If it's second degree murder, he's in for 15 years. He's 23 years old. He's not going to be making a comeback at age 38. So, and even if he's found innocent, which, again, is still a possibility. We'll see what his NFL career holds. But I think everyone right now is going to be locked into this trial whenever it does take place. I don't believe that he had a chance for bail. So according to Roger Cossack of ESPN, that means that he will have a trial date probably sooner rather than later. Again, even though he has a trial date, that doesn't necessarily mean that things are resolved all in one trial. So we're going to see what happens. It doesn't look good for Aaron Hernandez. He destroyed his phone. The surveillance videos in his house, there were 6 to 8 hours of footage missing. Why would you do that if you weren't at least part of something or the murderer of Odin Lloyd? It does not look good. They read off some of the text messages that he had been sending with Lloyd prior to those two being seen together at about 2:30 a.m. in the morning. It does not look good for Aaron Hernandez. I think that that's pretty much all we can say right now. He's going to spend time in jail, and he'll get his day in court. But his NFL career, I would say I'd be shocked if Aaron Hernandez ever plays another down in the NFL. And I don't even know how to react to the entire thing because it's a guy that we hadn't heard in a bunch of trouble in the first few years of his NFL career. And I mean, I'm just kind of scrolling down Twitter right now, waiting to see if their prosecution is currently asking that Aaron Hernandez be held without bail. And it sounds sick. The murder sounds sick. I think Aaron Hernandez, if he is the murderer here, did a piss-poor job of covering it up. I don't want to sound like I'm someone trying to help Aaron Hernandez cover up a murder, but I understand texting is easier, but you have to think ahead. You have to not have surveillance videos installed in your house prior to doing this. You need to not hide the body 5 miles from your house or whatever it was, five something from your house. I think you need to get rid of it. I don't... Sounds sick. I don't know what you do with a dead body. I've never been in that situation and never will be. And Aaron Hernandez is screwed at this point. His NFL career, to me, is probably all but guaranteed to be over, and his life in the free world may very well be over too. So Aaron Hernandez, charged with murder, likely will be held without bail, and also 5 gun-related charges. He'll get his day in court, but in the court of public opinion, Aaron Hernandez is guilty as hell.